Hello everyone. I hope you are all doing great today. For this session, we will be having a virtual class orientation for the subject Events and Convention Management. And I have prepared a poster and I will be discussing the following. First is the class guidelines. So this will state how the virtual class will be conducted. Second is the netiquette, which is the correct attitude when using the internet during virtual classes. And of course, I'll be discussing the different materials and devices that you're going to need for this virtual class. We are going to use Google Classroom as the learning management system. This is where I will be uploading the materials, the quizzes, the assignments, and the other courseworks. And you are also going to submit your finished task in Google Classroom. Next, we'll be using Facebook groups and Facebook Messenger for discussions as well. So you're going to need your email address, so make sure you have your Gmail account for you to access the Google Classroom. Next, your devices. It's either your cellular phone, your tablet, your laptop, or desktop if you have it at home. And make sure that you have a PDF installed on your device. So let's proceed with the class guidelines. The uploading and submission of the e-learning materials, assignments, quizzes, analysis, case study, reports, videos, and coursework will be uploaded using the Google Classroom. Uploads will be on a weekly basis, so you are encouraged to access the materials, and once you have accessed them, please read in advance in preparation for the virtual class discussion. The virtual class discussion will also be conducted either using Google Classroom, Facebook groups, and the new feature of Facebook, which is Facebook Messenger Rooms. And that is again on a weekly basis. Kindly check your schedule on that. So the course requirement will also be given after each lesson or topic is finished. There will be a flexible date for the submission of your finished tasks. Okay, I will be flexible on the deadlines, but make sure not to procrastinate so that you will not be overwhelmed by the other requirements from your other subjects. So I'll be giving extensions, but they are subject for review and approval. Then it is followed by the netiquette for virtual class. In simple terms, this is the proper behavior or etiquette to be observed when using the internet, hence the word netiquette. Because the delivery of classes now is very different as compared to the face-to-face method before, which is why the dynamics of giving out instructions, sending responses, engaging in discussions, and making comments may be differently interpreted depending on the receiver. Which is why, for the proper conduct of this virtual class, it is encouraged that the students abide by the following rules. First, and this is really important, you have to read all information contained in a post or a certain topic before making any comments or question. Believe me, this will save your time. This will save my time. Because by reading comments, alright, you may have an idea already whether your question has been answered. So it will save time for responding to newly posted comments, whereas it was already answered in the past comments. So you have to check also the most recent comment before you reply to an older comment. So again, it is important that you read first. Second, do not post any irrelevant comments, files, or links that are not in any way related to the topic being discussed. Third, Do not use all caps in posting your comments because you may be thought of as mad or screaming. Okay? And be respectful in posting your comments because text responses, they have no tone, they have no volume. Some may think of a post as being sarcastic even if you meant no harm, or if a post is just some sort of a joke. So it's really different when you interpret a comment because they have no feelings, they have no volume. Sometimes you're doing a post and then other people may interpret it as you are already mad, galit ka na, seryoso ka, pero hindi pala. Okay? So, please be respectful in posting your comments. So, always review your comments before posting them. Alright? And when submitting your assignments, lastly, or any project or any coursework, please do not copy and paste. There are a lot of resources that you can use on the internet, but you have to properly cite them as your reference. Now, when you have cited them as your reference, it is again highly encouraged for you to come up with your own understanding and rephrase the paragraph's content. Alright? So you have to rephrase them, you have to change the sentences a bit because you cannot copy the words in verbatim. Alright? Plagiarism is considered an academic violation and that could stain your credibility. So that's it. I'd like to welcome you all to this subject, Events and Convention Management. This course brings together the theoretical and practical applications of event planning. Students are required to plan, implement, and conduct an analysis of an actual event. It further provides a synthesis of all planning, execution, and post-event analysis. Such an event may be a benefit, arts, and design industry event in the fields of hospitality, marketing, and advertising, or sometimes sports. The learning outcomes for this subject, first, that is to train the students to develop professionalism or the professional communication and marketing skills. It will also develop the students' sense of responsibility by knowing how to set priorities and follow the scheduled plan of action. Students will be enabled to explore their creativity, resourcefulness, and their attention to detail. That is very important in events. They will also appreciate and accept feedback and criticisms constructively from their peers or from other suppliers that they will be having a conversation with. Next is they will initiate and maintain a harmonious working relationship with the events planning team, to create a venue for students to assume roles as events managers and organizers, and lastly, conduct research, planning, implementation, and evaluation of an event. So this is like a combination of the different professional subjects that you have in your early years, such as marketing management, business planning, financial management, and even your catering will be tapped on this subject. The specific topics include the following. Right? There are 19 specific topics for this course. So you have your introduction, you have the MICE in the Philippines, the different forces shaping the events industry. It could be internal forces and external forces, ethics, the protocols, the stakeholders of the event, how you conceptualize and setting the objectives for the events planning, the destinations and venue, of course the contracts and bids, how are you going to manage your project, and it is important that you budget it, you prepare the program, you set up the production and the stage, of course, and the exhibit if you have it, And then the food requirements for the event, security and risk management. Nowadays, because of the pandemic, this is really, really an important matter. How are you going to market your event? How are you going to get sponsors? And of course, you have to evaluate the event after holding it. And then for the course requirements, here are the different requirements with their corresponding percentages. For the quizzes, you have 20%. For reports and projects, you have 25%. For exercises, assignments and recreation, or recitation rather, you have 25%. And for major examinations like midterm and finals, you have 30%. So that is basically the things that you have to comply in order for you to pass this course. You'll have your quizzes, reports, exercises, and examinations. And I'd like to again welcome you all for this course, Events Management. And despite the pandemic, I hope that we will be having a worthwhile, a connected discussion, and I encourage the participation from all of you, because really it's a challenge to have this subject in this time that we have this type of crisis. But despite it being a challenge, so we will be looking into possible ways on how we are going to conduct virtual events, because that is the norm. Okay, that is the new normal now, because there are no live events being held all over the world. It's just that they're being held in the comfort of our own home using the internet and several applications. So again, let's participate and cooperate with each other so that we will be having a worthwhile, an engaging, and a productive events and convention management course. Alright, so that's it. I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy. Have a good day, everyone.